Hello. So, it's the 4th of August, and these are the books that I'll be reading in the month of August. Alright, let's get into it. Shall we? Shall we? Wait, I'm an amateur YouTuber. You have to bear with me, okay? I'm trying here. I am trying. Okay. Just painted my nails. Very bad at it. Don't look. We'll be showing it from here. Just painted my nails. Yeah. So, starting with the first book, I'm gonna be reading Wuthering Heights by Miss Emily Bronte. Okay, so I have not read, I think I've read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, but I have not read anything else by the Bronte sisters. So this is like a great introduction. I'm really excited to read this, okay, because I live in Mumbai, so it's raining all the time. And one thing, if I know about this book, I don't know much about it. I don't know how I don't know much about it, but I do not know much about it. But one thing that I know is it is great to read in thunderous weather, and the ambience really goes well with rain. Why didn't you all tell me this? You need to tell me if something like that is happening. Coming back to this. Yeah, so this apparently is perfect for stormy weathers. Emily released this under a pseudonym. Wait, what was the name? Yeah, wait. Elise Bell, I think, was the pseudonym. Where did it go? I cannot find it for the. Where is it? Where is it? Wait, no, it was there. I know it was there. Yeah. Ellis Bell. Yeah. So Emily initially released this under the name of Ellis Bell, and yeah. So very excited for this. We'll be reading this. Alright. Also, I just love penguin covers so much. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Just look at how pretty that is. We'll take a minute of silence to just. Yeah. Very excited for that. My introduction for all books are going to be just bizarre because I have no idea what I'm going to read. Okay. Yeah. Moving on. The second book that I'll be reading in the month of August is Sunrise on the Reaping. Now, something about this is that I have, since the month of May, okay, in May I finished all the 3 Hunger Games books, which I've watched the movies, and I was always a really big fan of the movies. Okay, so I was like, this is the year I read Hunger Games. I love my boy Peter Mellark so much. I love Peter, alright? So I had to. Okay. A, I love my boy Peter. B, resistance right now in this world is extremely important. So yes, I think that I just thought this is the year. Yeah. I think everyone, like, it's a great book to pick up. Just like, not from just the story perspective, it's great, but from beyond the story, what politically it represents. Yeah, all of it. So I read all the Hunger Games books in 4 days because insane. I love those books so much. And then I picked up The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and that, I do not know why, but it took me 2 months to read that book. Okay, June and July entirely just I was in a kind of a, I could not read in June, so that happened. And in July I finally dragged myself to read it. A 5-star book. I loved The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I was really excited to read this. Okay, I was really, and I'll be very honest, I am done with this much of the book. I just have to finish it. I love it. I love my boy Hamish so much. I love this. So I don't know, this is not like, it's 4th of the August, alright? So I have read this much of the book. So this is kind of like a review. I love this. I'm gonna give this a 4.75 star, I think. Yeah, a 4.75 star, I think. I'm not sure. If I cry by the end of it, I have cried in the book, by the way. While I was reading it, cried, sobbed, love it. Alright, okay. So, yes. This I'm recommending. Please read the entire Hunger Games series. I love it. Give me a minute. Yeah. So, the third book that I'll be reading is The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I might read this, I might not read this. Okay. So, I am really big on wait, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I am really big on A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, right? So I'm very excited to read this. I have read the entire series of Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and yeah, I loved it. It's so fun. It's such a it's a great time. All right, please read that. Read that. I recommend that to everyone because it's like just read it. It's nice. It's just I call a murder mystery nice, but it is genuinely. It's like it's it's a it's a really fun read. Okay, I personally love myself a murder mystery, so that was a really great read for me, and I had so much fun while I was reading that. So yes, 10 on 10 would recommend A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the entire series, all the 3 books. The show, I was not really that big on the show. I could only watch 2 episodes because I have an explanation for that. Because it was not how I imagined it, and of course it's their art. They do not have to make it according to a viewer of it or a consumer of the particular thing, but it's just not how I imagined. Like, the ambience wasn't what I wanted it to be, just the aesthetics weren't aligning with me. So yeah, no, so did not complete that, but the book I completely recommend. Alright, so coming back to this, I might read this, I might not read this. Either I'll read this, and I do not have it here with me, but then either I'll read this or I might read Six of Crows by Leah B something. I do not know what the B stands for, but then I might read Six of Crows as well. It is not here. I do own it. I'm not gonna bring it from the other room. So yeah, I'll just keep it here. So I might read this or I might read this. Now again, this book. I read this. Again, it's the 4th of the month. Sorry, 4th day of the month. And this was a pretty quick read. So this again is not that I'm gonna be reading this, but I've read it. I love the cover. I started Fall a little early because Fall's pretty small. Why not? I just wanted to elongate it. Also, once again, I live in Mumbai. There's no fall, so I just have to create it for myself. And I decided to create it from August. Right. So, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I loved the cover, and yeah, just a small town book. I thought I might eat it up, but this was fine. This was like a 1 star. Oh my god, this was like a 1 star book. I just enjoy the cover. It's a great cover. I thought I would be insanely in love with this because once again, fall, and it's like I don't know, I don't know why, but I thought I'd like this. I did not like it. But then again, I'm not like a really big romance reader. Like, I love it. Do not get me wrong. I love myself a good book, a good romantic book. I love it. AO3 was my home, is my home. Alright, but this just was not for me. Okay. So the next book, because it's the Women's Translator Month, so the next book is gonna be The Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante. This has been translated by Anne Goldstein. So I'm gonna be reading this. Okay. I have no idea what this is about. Okay. I know My Brilliant Friend is a really good book. I have not read that either. In my defense, I have recently started, like, I was never a big reader growing up, so I picked up reading I think 2 years ago, but then 2 years ago I read like 5 books. Like that was the first year in my life that I read 5 books. I pretended to be a reader before that because I always thought it was chic and cool, but I did not have the ability to just finish an entire book before that. But then 2023 was the first year that I read a book, like not a book, but then I read 5 books, and that was like not in my academic syllabus or anything else, and I really like the experience. I just really like the experience of reading a book, right? So last year was the first time I read 15 books in a year, so this year I'm trying to increase that. And yeah, so half of these books I genuinely have no idea what they're about. I just have heard about them, and I've seen people I like. By I like, I mean could just be a friend of mine, or like a YouTuber, or like an influencer, or a book reviewer that I really just like those books or are reading those books, so I just pick them up. Or I'm in book clubs. I'm on Fable, so it's either a book club that I'm part of on Fable, or it's just a book that my sister is reading. Alright, my sister is also a big reader, so yeah, whatever she's reading, I just get into that if I like the book. That is, coming back to the Days of Abandonment, I have no idea what this is about. Let me read it a little bit. Okay, husband leaves younger woman, desperate, dangerous, despair, rage, love all of that. Absolutely insane for all of those adjectives that was just said. Okay, I might love this book. I might. Shall I read that for you? Okay, 1 second. After her husband leaves her for a younger woman, Olga's days of abandonment are a desperate, dangerous descent into despair and rage. Literally trapped inside the 4 walls of her apartment in the middle of a summer heat wave, she is forced to confront her ghosts, the potential loss of her own identity, and the possibility that life may never return to normal again. Okay, I'm gonna love this. I think I'm gonna love this. I might put up a review video as well next month. So if I read, like, it's in my TBR, guys. It is in my TBR. If I read this, I think I'm gonna love it. Okay, we'll see. I should really drink water instead of coffee. Moving on. The next book, y'all didn't tell. As I was saying, the next book is, so my sister on Fable is in Jack Edwards, the YouTuber, the booktuber. Jack Edwards' Fable book club, and the book for the month on his book club is Evenings and Weekends. Now, again, do not know anything about it. Love the cover. I love the cover so much. Just look at it. Look at how pretty that cover is. Wait, are my nails distracting? Wait, I just want those colors to stand out. Wait, such a pretty cover. I love myself a colorful book cover. Okay, I love it. So, and Coco Mellors says that the book is gorgeous, and I believe her. Alright, have I read a book by Coco Mellors? No, but I hear they are great. I hear Blue Sisters was phenomenal. So yeah, she says that this is good. So gorgeous, my bad. So it might just be gorgeous. And I love myself a book about a big city. I eat that shit up. Just not a book, just a show as well. I like anything that is set, and it's not specifically like, oh, big, no, I like all good things, but then I don't know, just the intricacies of a person that lives in this such big city, and how they just go through their lives, and the things that it's just, I find it very beautiful, right? So I think I might like this as well. This is Evenings and Weekends by, I do not want to mispronounce the name, so by them. Alright, yeah. So this, even if I don't want to read this, my sister's gonna make me read this because it's in her book club and she really wants us to do this thing together. So yeah, this is another one. Now coming to a book club that I am in, right? So there's this YouTuber called Clockwork Reads, and I love her YouTube channel. I love the videos she makes. I just love everything about her channel, right? So I am on her book club. I'm in her book club on Fable, and she is reading this book called The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and this is not available anywhere around me, so I'm just reading it on my iPad. Okay, I am currently, and I am very excited to read this because this is like, I have never read anything of this genre before. Like a book, I have read fanfics of this genre before. I love those fanfics more than anything, but a proper book, those are wait a second. They, fanfics are books. Sometimes better than fucking published books, alright? So, but then like a proper published book, I have never read of this genre, so I'm really excited to read The Bewitching. 3 books remain. What was this? What? 3 books remaining. Okay, we'll get into that. The other books. Now these are tiny books, alright? These are tiny books because I wanna finish my reading goals. I'm not gonna read these many books, I don't think, but then these are the books I might select from randomly. 5 books I'm gonna read no matter what this month, so I don't know how many of these I'm actually gonna read. Don't judge me. You do the same. You might not. You might be better than me. Don't come at me. Alright. The next book that I'm gonna be reading is Sabahattin Ali's Madonna in a Fur Coat. Love the cover once again. Okay, love it. Also, why I'm reading this book. Now this book has a big story behind it. So the first time I had not heard about this book, I knew nothing, but then I was in this bookstore and these 2 uncles, they might be in their late 40s or early 50s, right? Now, Indian uncles, just talking about anything in a grave detail. I find that very, very amusing. And just, so these 2 uncles were in the bookstore and they were talking to each other, and this one uncle, one of them, just went, "Have you read this book?" And I looked to the uncle beside him. Okay, and I was standing behind them. So he was like, to the person beside him, he was like, "Have you read that book?" And he was like, "No," the other guy. So this guy went on a proper 2 to 3 minutes monologue about how this is such a beautiful book and just one of the best books that he had ever read about yearning and love, and that he had never read something so beautiful about yearning and love, and just that it's beautiful and something very raw and just very, I don't remember very vividly what he said, and he said really pretty words, okay, really beautiful words. I don't remember any of them. I should have written this down because this was like, I was shocked, this one man just going on about this book in such pretty words. I do not expect that of men. My bad. I am the one to blame here, but just, yeah, I did not expect that. I did not expect this uncle to be like, "What a beautiful book about love." But then he did say that. So shout out to uncle, whoever he was. But he is the reason why I have picked this book up, and I am very excited. I did start reading this a little. I am done with the author's introduction, and what a man. Like, at least the introduction, that I don't know anything else about the author, but then with the introduction that's given in this, I really like the author, and yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. Did not know that the book is based in Turkey though, so that is also very exciting. I have not read any book from these perspectives, so I'm very excited. Such new perspectives, that is. Very excited about this. Okay, 2 books remaining. Open Water. Why did I just blank out completely? Like, I just blanked out. Yeah, Open Water. I am really excited to read this book. Have I said that about each and every book? I am excited to read all these books. I'm excited to read all books in general, alright? So, but this particularly because it's about love, it's about struggles, it's about art, it's about music and life, and just a very beautiful piece of literary fiction. Okay, and yeah, I think I have just said all the words that need to suffice for how, like, why this book would be just incredibly amazing, right? So yeah, I'm very excited to read this book. I should count how many times this could be a drinking game where every time I say the word excited, you'll just, I don't drink, so I might just, I don't know, hydrate yourself. Why not drink a sip of water every time I said excited? You know what? I'm going to edit this and I'm going to see if I have actually said excited that many times. I think I have. I might be wrong. Do not know. Okay. I'm very ashamed to admit this. I'm extremely ashamed. I mean, I shouldn't be that ashamed because I started reading a few, like 2 years ago. But I kind of still am a little bit, more than a little bit ashamed to admit this. But I have never read a book by an Indian author. Chetan Bhagat does not count because I have read his books when I was really young. And yeah, good books to read back then when I was young. So other than Chetan Bhagat, I have not read a book by an Indian author. So I'm remedying that and I am picking up this really teeny tiny book by Vivek Shanbhag called Khachar Gochar. And I loved the cover. The cover and the font as well. Now something about this, I am going into this book completely blind, okay? I have no idea. I do not know what this book is about. Also, do not want to know what this book is about, okay? It's like some 90 pages. Oh, I could have read something about the author because I might have something to say then. Because now I'm like, this is a book which I'm gonna read, which I'm gonna be reading. That's all I have to offer right now. But I should have read that. I have not. And I'm gonna be really honest on this channel. So, yeah. This is like some 90 pages or something. Wait, it's not 90 pages? Is it more than that? Okay, it's 115 pages, but then the words are pretty nicely spaced out and like the lines are spaced out. The font is a little big. So, yeah. It's a pretty tiny book and I do not know anything about this and I'm really excited to read this as well. Excited! Yeah, but then I'm also really excited to read this. So yeah, those are the books for the month of August. That's it. I'm done. How many books were there? Let me count. Wait. Those were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and the 10th book is over here. 10 books. Okay. Half the video I've been doing that. Yeah, so 10 books in total for August. I'll try to read at least 8 of them because I am jobless. I am thoroughly unemployed. So what else can I be doing? We roll. Yeah. So this was my August TBR. Hopefully I read a lot of those books. I'm very excited to read those books. Yeah, that's it. Those are the books that I'm reading. I'm not reading them as of right now. Those are the books that I'm gonna be reading. Hopefully, the more that I film these videos, I might learn how to talk. That would be great. So yeah, that's it. This was August TBR. I do not know how to end the video. I hope you all have a really good day, night, whatever you all are having. If it's going bad, sit down, drink a little water, breathe in, breathe out. The day is gonna be over. You're gonna be alright. Okay? Okay, thanks. Okay. Oh my god, how does one end the video? I'm just gonna end it. Okay.